Hello, everyone. It is Jenny from the Shop and SMS team, and we're just going to cover quickly today a couple of questions that we've been getting on the commercial sizing guidelines. Basically, we've had a few questions on stacked coils, which we blogged about last week. I'll hit that a little bit today. But the coil face to plenum wall is something that we've had some questions on, and so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Here's the commercial sizing guidelines form, and these are the questions. Some things I'm going to go through today is the duct run, the width, height, and length of unobstructed run. We'll hit a little bit on, is it a stacked coil application, and if so, providing the dimensions, and then also the coil face to the plenum wall measurement. There's going to be two things that are key there. Also, airflow, make sure that you provide that, and double checking the service door size too. So let's get to it. First place I like to go is YouTube, and Ultravation has a great little video. I like to move to about the minute 41 for what I'm looking at here, but watch the whole video on your own time. It's great, but here we go. These are the SI series racks that we have been quoting a lot of right there. That's the reason the service door is important. We want to make sure that we can get the racks into the coil area. So that's why we're asking about the service door. Moving forward, this is a really good example of a stacked coil application. You have a wall of coils here, but they're all individual coils. So you don't want to give us the dimension of the entire thing. We may not have a rack that accommodates that. What you want to do is give us the individual dimensions of the sections, and we can quote SI racks for each section of the stacked coil application. Moving a little bit forward, here is a great, example of the lamps. Now this part here, I'll just pause. We're going to need at least 12 inches of unobstructed space in order to accommodate the rack being installed, okay? And then I'm just going to pop out of this for 1 second. So if you're in a situation and your blower wheel is butt up against the coil, like in this image, we're not going to have room to mount the racks appropriately. Okay, so not only would we want to say SI is not going to work down here because it's not going to fit, but if you have some situation like this that's weird, you may want to provide us like a sketch giving us some dimensional data so that maybe we can quote something different, but without understanding the position of the motor. So like in this particular application that we were looking at, we're able to maybe quote a different solution other than SI racks with some lamps going across the top of the coil and then some shorter lamps going across the bottom of the coil to get, appropriate air treatment. So that's one part of this thing. So we need the 12 inches. We need to know if there's an obstruction in order to accommodate the SI racks. And then what you're seeing here, this is that airstream disinfection as well in that cabinet or that plenum. And so we're asking here is, what's the distance? First of all, we want to make sure, like we said, that we have the at least foot between, the coil and the blower wheel or any other obstruction for clearance for the rack. If we have that and it's a go, we want to know the distance here, the coil to the wall. We want at least 36 inches of cabinet space to allow for enough air exposure time, because we're not just treating the coils with this, there's also air treatment going on too. It's time and intensity on the surface of the coil and the air. And so we need 36 inches minimum here. So if you don't have the room for that, because we've been seeing a lot of requests come in that are potentially, commercial applications, but the equipment is smaller, we may recommend to you, easy UV from the matrix is a great option for something that's smaller, where SI racks won't fit. Okay, this one has a magnetic mount on it, and it's 2233 or a 62-inch lamp lengths. Okay, we may also go to more of a residential solution for smaller applications, and recommend, you know, something in the Ultramax series. I'm always going to recommend going with a 2-lamp system, but Ultramax you could treat on the coil. Now, if you're treating for a specific pathogen, and you're looking for some type of guaranteed disinfection on something, if your coil situation can't accommodate the, you know, commercial solution and the air exposure time, we're going to be recommending that you go to AS series. So this is where that duct run is going to become important. If we can't get the treatment on the air at the coil, we're going to need coil dimensions of uninterrupted length of run where we can get UV lights installed in the ductwork. So the length of the ductwork that we have to work with, and the width and the height. So this again, where I'm mousing over, that's going to be your height dimension. This is the width dimension, and then the length. So that was just a quickie on that stuff. The more information you can provide, the better. We are, you know, taking some time to turn the commercial quotes around now. So giving us as much as possible is definitely clutch. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy this. Hope it was helpful, and we will see you for the next one.